Hello, and welcome to Homer for Friday, July 18th, 2025. Today we will be reading from lines 472 down to 488 in Book 11 of the Iliad, in which Odysseus is likened in a beautiful Homeric simile to a running away deer. Please enjoy. So saying, he led the way, and Aias followed, a godlike man. Then found they Odysseus, dear to Zeus, and round about the Trojans beset him, as tawny jackals in the mountains, about a horned stag that hath been wounded, that a man hath smitten with an arrow from the string. From him the stag hath escaped, and fleeth swiftly, so long as the blood flows warm and his knees are quick. But when at length the swift arrow overpowereth him, then ravening jackals rend him amid the mountains in a shadowy grove. But lo, God bringeth against them a murderous lion, and the jackals scatter in flight, and he rendeth the prey. Even so then did the Trojans, many and valiant, beset Odysseus round about, the wise and crafty minded. But the warrior darting forth with his spear warded off the pitiless days of doom. Then Aias drew near, bearing a shield that was like a city wall, and stood forth beside him, and the Trojans scattered in flight, one here, one there. And warlike Menelaus led Odysseus forth from the throng, holding him by the hand, till his squire drave up the horses and car. Awesome, let's sing it. Hosepon homenerkodam, Hosepon homenerkodam espeto isoteos fos. Auron apet Odysseia di pilonam vidarauton. Troes pontos tita foi noito esores fin. Velafon karaon bebla menon honte bala aner. Io apon aureston mente luxe podessi. Baugon ofrai maliaron kai guonatorore. Atarebede ton gedamaseta uokos wistos. Homo fagoi minto esenuras indardaptusin. Enemeis kieroi epitelien negage daimon. Sintento es mente dietresan autarodaptei. Ostratotam fodusei et aifrona poi kilometein. Troes epon poloite kai alkimoi autarhogeros. Aison hoi enke amunetonele seimar. Aias den guthenel the peron sacosa ute porgon. Stede per extro esti deitres analudes alos. Et oiton menelaos ereios ecagomilo. Keros econ eios terapons keronelas en hippus. Wonderful. I apologize for two egregious pronunciation mistakes. One which was neles. I did neles as opposed to neles. And then we also had where was it, like up here or something like that. I don't know, Trison, I don't know, some stupid stuff. Whatever. Days when you wake up and your Homeric voice isn't exactly it's not coming to you immediately well. I don't know. You just gotta live with it. Who knows what could happen when God dispenses upon you a new iteration of the Homeric diction, as they say. How about that for a recreation of Plato's Ion? Anyway, I think this is a really, really cute passage. It's a very deadly passage, right? I mean, you really fear for the deer that has been struck by the arrow. Io aponeures, from the bowstring, arrow from a bowstring. And then they've seen him, the Beble Menon. Pretty sure this is look at. Where is the word here? Oh, never mind. Been like, what is this? A struck deer, right? And then, Jose Tetavos Does Oresfin, right? In the mountains, right? And yeah, they see somebody who's been struck, right? Like they're gathering around him, you know what I mean? Like the jackals. I mean, jackals are just it really doubles down on the insidiousness of the birds, right? About like how birds are a proxy, right? And the proxy here, like arrows are proxies for war and are thus less honorable, is sent away by a daimon lean, right? So like a lion sent by a god, right? I'm pretty sure, that's what's going on here. Geez, my computer's so slow. Can't even load a page. And this is Perseus we're talking about. This isn't exactly like a massive page. So, like the lion is obviously not preying on Odysseus. It's his friend, right? Yeah, okay, yeah, I was correct there. But what is it? What form is this? Yeah, masculine accusative epic. Indeclinable form. Fantastic. Yeah, because for some reason lease to lean doesn't really make sense in my mind. But anyway. So a daimon sends the lean, right, to him, right, very hungry, lean, right, but the lease is not bad right here, right, so it's obviously Odysseus' friend, and I think that's what I want to note here is, there's a lot of discussion about, like, and it's obviously connected, Diathenason here, Diathenason up there, wherever it is. There's two, Diathenason over there, right? So they're both being sent away, right? Horse and then a horse, right? We have the two halves of the simile, and then like we have what actually happens in real life, right? But in the simile, the deer gets eaten by the lion, and in the real life, the lion is saving Odysseus, right? With his tower shield, which is also very characteristic of Ajax, by the way. Only one who has a tower shield. I don't know, like maybe it's something about, the question becomes like, do the Homeric similes provide us a merely like kinetic or like tactile, like sort of onomatopoetic, like historical aspect for the audience that like they can relate to in like a compartmentalized segment of their lived experience that they can then impute upon the poetry that the poet recognizes? Or is it something that is a qualitative assessment of the characters themselves that they are put into unequal, similar circumstances, right? So it is unequal that the deer survives in the second half, the second simile, but the deer doesn't survive in the first simile, right? It is that unequal similar quality, or simile quality, unequal similar. Is that unequal part of it? Is that disparity something that is very intentional poetically? Something to ponder. Anyway, this might be written in a book somewhere, but if it's not, that's where you come in, dear audience. Anyway, thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye.